Yeah, that'll be me in a second. So, I believe we're at update 69 of Cody Webb's Wild Adventure with the YZ250. And at this point, Tyler, I think I might have to put you on retainer for using your services so much. So, I'm just still struggling. Still not finding what I'm looking for. Made the mistake of riding my YZ250 FX. It had torque. This still doesn't have the torque I want. No matter what everyone tells me they do is the best thing ever, I think they're all wrong. Sorry, guys. You're not as right as you think you are. So, now today, I've talked to multiple people about this. Obviously, Kelsey at RK Tek. His concern was, I guess I should say what I'm doing. We're going to machine the bottom of the cylinder to drop the cylinder lower. I mean, obviously, we got to adjust the head now with the compression because of that. But lowering the cylinder will change the port timing. It'll basically do a shift and bring the power curve down. Brings power curve down. So, I've talked to Eddie Sanders Racing about this. I've talked to Kelsey about it. I've talked to Rob Brown at Race Tech about this. I talked to my own mechanic. And then last night I had a chat with Bob Oliver, who is OG at Yamaha from 1980 to 2018. Retired now, but this was literally step one, he said, was cut down, machine the bottom of the cylinder, and that's going to change your power characteristics, bring the power lever down more. So they've obviously messed with everything at Yamaha since the 80s, and they settled with this because this is what worked best for motocross, which is what sells bikes. But there's a shift in the market. People are buying Yamahas now because of Cody Webb, maybe. So, yeah, we're down here today, and Tyler is going to put the cylinder in the lathe, which I think will be fun to watch, honestly. Cut off. We're going to cut 40 thousandths off the bottom of the cylinder. So that is, for metric people, that is just ever so slightly more than 1 millimeter. So 1 millimeter is 0.039 inches, 40 thousandths 0.040 inches. So, and then after that, we got to check the squish. I brought a bunch of heads for now. I have Kelsey's head. I think the RK Tek head will be not enough squish. Probably for pretty high compression. So, drain the coolant. Go from there. But yeah, the main concern we had was the power valve rod, arm, whatever that comes up. It's not adjustable. Some of the other bikes you can adjust the length of it. So that was the concern Kelsey had about changing the port timing by dropping the cylinder down. But after talking to Bob Oliver, they did this all the time. There was no concern.
Well, the linkage has a pivot too.
Yeah, there's a pivot to the linkage, so it'll be fine. He even said that they've modified him and made one. He had like a stroker motor that was 8 millimeters longer, which is crazy. So yeah, today, drain the coolant, and take off the top motor mounts. I think there'll be enough wiggle room with the motor mount. We don't have to really, I don't know if you had to oval out the bottom, but there's normally enough wiggle room.
No, there should be enough wiggle room.
Yeah, so.
I mean, we're only taking like a millimeter. So
Barely, yeah, a
it's
millimeter.
Not a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean, a millimeter can go a long way sometimes, depending on what we're talking about. Fat whips. All right, so obviously we're just marking this so we know.
Yeah, just to make sure it's cutting straight.
Yep. Fair enough.
Scientific Sharpie, because I don't know where my die cam is. I can't find it.
I think this is perfect. I have no problem with this.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so 40
Get it chucked up, and yeah, we're going to cut 40 thou off it, and Rob Brown at Race Tech just gave us a whole bunch of information.
Way too much information.
That
hold on. I wrote the notes. I wrote notes on this. It's like I'm back in school. So here's what he said. Dropping at 40 thou will make the power come on 1,500 to 1,800 RPM earlier.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm looking for.
Squish band percentage to board.
Yeah, there's a lot of percentages.
Yeah, he had his calculators up. That's just if
it's like, we need 36%. When I was doing arena cross, it was 45%. Road bikes was 20%. But yeah, there's a whole science with your squish band. I just learned what squish band was now.
Two-stroke is from the exhaust port to the top of the cylinder.
Yeah, TDC.
Yeah, is all that matters, and none of it else matters apparently. So.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, guys. Science. This is our dial indicator to make sure we're square to the world, correct?
Something like that.
I just feel like, how do you do this without it catching? Because all the weird...
I'm just going to have to do like half and half.
Give it a little, just a little touch.
Just to see where it's at on both sides.
Checking to see if we're square to the world.
Oh, I went too far.
Yeah, obviously.
Had it in their mouth and the kids walked in.
We'll cut that part out.
That's pretty decent.
Sorry, I made that blurry, but it was pretty zeroed out the whole time.
Square.
We'll check the other side now.
Square. Applied Technology's motto is good enough for who it's for.
Yo, it's me you're talking about.
Oh yeah, we're square.
It's no longer zeroed out, but did it change when you adjusted it?
Yeah, it changed it a little bit, but
yeah, but it's showing that it wasn't changing.
Yeah, because I moved it.
Yeah.
So I just didn't re-zero the.
Okay, you're allowed. This indicator. This can be cut for me.
Yeah.
That's not the lathe wobbling, if you guys are thinking. You know,
no,
this is OSHA approved.
Just because
it was a pretty good size cut to begin with.
Yeah, back her off.
We're all zeroed out. And we're going
20,000.
Splitting the difference.
Yeah.
Split the difference.
H4.
Got to keep your tool cutting longer, yeah? Dude, is that KDX in the photo right there? Look at that thing.
This one?
Yeah.
That was Pop's back in the day.
What a badass.
Look at that fucking helmet.
He's got a quick strap.
Yeah.
With like a Jofa setup.
Dude, and the big old roll-offs, the big old orange Smith roll-offs.
I like it.
Yeah. Cody left his camera unattended at the shop, so we're debating on what we could do weird, but I think I'm just going to do my Cody impression. So today, guys, I'm here at Applied Technology, and you know, the Yamaha 250 just isn't working for me anymore, so we decided to go Husqvarna TC105. So Jace is here putting a big bore kit in it. This should have plenty of bottom end for me, and I'm definitely not worried about being too tall. Jace, what do you think?
I think you'll be good. Spike should have that bottom end you're asking for.
We're gonna do our first test run. Nothing like parking lot rips, right? That's the only way. I did put a fresh tire on.
Field rips.
Maximum traction. I got no riding footage. Don't mind lack of number plate. I was doing some more testing with the Get after I got the setup I liked on there. But yeah, the mod definitely changed the whole kind of tone of the motor since we cut off 40 thousandths of an inch, so just barely over 1 millimeter off the bottom of the cylinder, and then went and rode it, and yeah, it definitely made a difference for sure. It kind of shifted the power curve down, and through my research since we've done this, I found out as well this is an X cylinder. The YZ cylinder has a different exhaust port, so it's not going to be quite as drastic of what the change would be if I had the YZ cylinder on this bike. So I just ordered 2 spare cylinders, both are YZ cylinders, to do the same mod to. And, you know, just for now, this is obviously an initial test, so Tyler got the squish on the stock X head. So this is the X cylinder, decked a millimeter at the bottom. Got the squish on the X cylinder, and then this week at Moab, since Moab's coming up, right? Kelsey at RK Tek cut out a head for me, so I'll get that testing done probably Tuesday evening, Wednesday in Moab, so I'll get testing there. Get the jettings to fine tune. I actually went back to the stock slide. I had a modded slide. It caused a little bit of inconsistencies on the idle. So back to the stock slide. Then I had to change the pilot to account for that. So 48 pilot. My needle is something. I'll put it in the caption. Can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, no, the bike runs really good right now. And then paired with the Get, it's not a huge difference, but just because the timing's a little bit more advanced on the standard YZ, I can kind of get that same feel now, but then I have the map switch, so I can basically slow it down a hair and make it a little bit more comfortable ride. But yeah, I was in Tyler's backyard in second gear crawling up some stuff, and I felt definitely an improvement to the bike. So slowly but surely we keep getting there. I'll probably share some clips of riding this week in this video at the end and do another debrief after a real solid test. But yeah, I gotta go home now and get this thing ready. I am back, ladies and gentlemen, with Tyler at Applied Technology. We got a cylinder here. What are we doing, you ask? We're just messing around.
In the words that you keep using, we're doing stuff we're not supposed to be doing.
Yeah, we shouldn't be doing this. Brand new. Oh, I brought all the guts for it. We got to put all this stuff in. Found out YZ and YZX are different part numbers on the cylinders. The YZ has 0.5 mil lower exhaust port. So here's our exhaust port in here. This guy, it's a 0.5 mil lower. What we're doing on these cylinders is decking the bottom. I talked about it before. I haven't made that video yet still, but this will all be together.
So there's still stuff to contribute to.
So last time we decked 40 thousandths of an inch, 0.04 inches, 040, which is essentially 1 millimeter. This time, that was on the X model though, right? So now we're on a YZ cylinder, which the exhaust port's already 1/2 inch lower anyways. So 0.5 millimeter lower, correct myself. So, but we're gonna go big today, because why not? You go big or go home.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try doing roughly 1.5 millimeters, add half what we did before, so 60 thousandths of an inch. And the thought process on that, if it doesn't work, we'll just dual base gasket it, and it'll be kind of roughly where it is. But no matter what, this should be quote unquote more bottom because the exhaust port's already lower. And according to Rob Brown at Race Tech, your stroke is measured from top dead center to that guy. So basically by lowering the cylinder, piston's coming up higher, it's more distance traveled, I guess. Hence stroke. You guys know what I'm talking about. We always want more stroke. We're getting very scientific here because the last one we did kind of almost went through a hair on the intake. I think it was on the intake side only.
Yeah, it was like right here
so
in this corner.
It's just, you obviously have to make your reference point or 0 point, whatever you want to call it. But when we put it in the lathe, we need to go off the blue line. We don't need to go all the way to the edge.
Yep.
Because you may cut through. And we checked it out here on the actual bottom end. And it's okay if we don't move as much material on the inside because it'll actually dip down into that space. It'll lock it in place. It's like a locking key for the cylinder. Here we go. Tyler's upgraded his manual. We have an expanding manual.
We have the right tool now.
The right tool for the job.
Yeah. Actually slowed it down a little bit from the last time. Firing line just in case.
Your whole shot device too.
Yeah, keeping my foot on the brake, you know. There we go. She's starting to cut. The bee died.
Slow-mo this. At work. He's just deburring. We're not doing anything special.
Taking away the sharp edges, yeah.
A little deeper, actually.
Air doesn't like sharp edges, so you know. I don't know if it'll help or not, but we're just.
Well, people are gonna see it now. Might as well show it. It went through a hair. Whatever.
Yeah, we'll be all right.
More power. So everything's looking great, but the main hurdle we just ran into is this power valve arm cover. No issues at all with the power valve. Obviously, there's some. It's all spring loaded. There's linkage there, so it cannot account for the cylinder sitting lower, but none of the holes lined up. Before, when we cut 1 millimeter, it was a tight fit. So we're just taking off a little of the edge on the belt sander or the grinder, whatever it was. Grinder?
Yeah,
Grinding wheel, belt sander. Same difference. Whatever. We're taking material off that cover. So, other than that, everything went right on. Just for testing purposes, this is the stock X head on here for now. Squish was, we wanted around 50 thousandths. It was 45. Not worth the effort to cut it again. So, yeah, we're gonna give this a go here in a couple minutes, and hopefully we got even more out of her. Coolant is in. The cap is not on the coolant. Last piece of the puzzle.
Good thing it doesn't have that stupid big tank on it.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say the brand, but because they want to sponsor me next year.
Gas cap falls apart and you can't get the coolant.
Okay. It is go time. It's go time. I gotta put my sweatshirt on. It's cold outside, but we'll see. We'll see if this was the right move. Alright, well, 60 thousandths off the YZ cylinder. And listen to this. I can listen to this all day. And these guys too. Alright, I think this is it. Okay, well. It keeps getting better. The bike feels sick right now for 6,000 some feet, you said?
Yeah, 6,300.
We're at 6,300 at Tyler's house. 6,000 7-inch off the bottom of the cylinder. And it rips. Good bottom. Lose a little on top. I don't even care. And we're going sea level the next couple races, so these guys better watch out on their European bikes. I'm coming. Here is the other cylinder. I'm giving Tyler the go-ahead. We're cutting another 60 thousandths off. And like I said, YZ cylinder. YZ250. This was the winning Moab bike. I'll just say it again. Here's the winning Moab bike. This is 1 millimeter off the X cylinder, which is a little bit different. So this bike also has the Get CDI, so I had the benefit of having a map switch, but for the most part I was running map 1, which is going to be more like a YZ map. It's a little more advanced timing. So the bike I'm just riding right now was the standard X CDI, so a little more retarded timing, but the bike still was phenomenal. This is it. We've cracked the code. We could even do more, but you know, we're just gonna play it safe because we know this works and it feels pretty damn good, and I'm stoked. Things are just looking up. Thank you, Bob Oliver. Thank you, Rob Brown, and thank you, Applied Technologies. We're out. End of episode.